Thank you for coming to my talk. As a member of an Agile team, I'm one. This is the talk. And my name is Wanda Marginean, and I'm a member of an Agile team in England, a Rally team. And this is Rally. Who heard about Rally? Okay, that's great. Okay, fantastic. So we are a truly agile organization. We are from the States, from Colorado, and we have few offices around New York now. And we have Agile tool and Agile consulting. And I'm lucky enough to work with many organizations that are trying to become agile and are adopting agile or just experimenting with it. We all know here that agile is the way forward. But we still see people struggle with that. And what I've noticed that as Agile becomes more and more popular, different teams emerge, and different teams are created in an organization that behave in an Agile way, that their needs are different. So today's talk will be really about different members of Agile teams and what they expect from an infrastructure, from the tool, to help them to behave in an Agile way and really become a truly Agile organization and deliver value to their customers faster. So it's not only about software development teams, it's about sales teams that can act in an Agile way, it's about marketing teams that adopt Agile processes, maybe finance teams, but kind of the whole organization goes Agile. They really need to adopt those practices across the whole organization. So let's look at what I mean by Agile team. So we can agree on that and can take it further. So maybe I ask you a question. Who is a member of any kind of Agile team at the moment? Okay, everyone, pretty much, almost, right? Perfect. So what do we mean by an Agile team? So it's a goal-oriented social group that has a compelling goal that everyone believes in and truly want to accomplish. There is a mutual shared responsibility. People are much less likely to fail the commitment to their peers than they are likely to fail the commitment to their manager. That's a very interesting fact. So there is a science behind why to make people responsible as a group. They share approach to work, and that doesn't mean follow the process. That just means they follow the principles, they follow the values. They may follow the same things like daily stand-ups, but it's only because they see it valuable, they commit to that, and they do it on a regular basis. And they share definition of done, so that pretty much means for everyone the same. They also have complementary skills. That means they can learn from each other, they can benefit from collaboration, discussions, and working towards achieving the same objectives together. And this is very interesting. The best thing, I think, is that about the team, they form, storm, norm, and perform. And what I mean by that is when you put people together, first of all, they don't know how to interact. They work it out. So that's how you form the team. When they storm, they try to find the best way to interact with each other. They may learn about cross skills, different passions, different interests. That's when they storm. They don't really work it together fully, but they try to work out the best way as a group. So if you've done Scrum Master course, you might have gone through an exercise with people who you've done the course with. When you're doing different exercises around building your whatever you're building during the course, the first sprint went really badly, then the second went much better. And the further we went, the more you knew how the team works. And then they norm, so they start working in the way they think is the best, and then they start performing. It takes a while, and usually the team is 7 plus minus 2, it's an ideal size. And if you have more, you start having groups, people start having different objectives, and then you start selecting one person who kind of controls potentially some areas of decision making. So 7 plus minus 2 is the best size. And another interesting thing about Agile teams is that Agile assumes competence and bureaucracy assumes mediocrity. And what that means is that in traditional waterfall environments, you would have a lot of managers that control teams because they assume they won't be passionate, they won't be creative, they just will sit there doing nothing all day. In Agile, it's the opposite. You assume people are passionate, people want to deliver the value. And when you have an Agile team, it's a very powerful thing. So if you look at this picture, they all pull towards the same direction, they're all focused, they all work together, and it doesn't matter whether they're a development team, whether they are a project managers team, product owners team, or maybe they are just a mix of different people that are focusing on achieving the same objective. So working towards creating such an environment in a company is one of the purposes of scaling Agile. So what happens when Agile scales across the organization? So let's say we start from a team that uses Scrum, let's say. We know that, I'm not going to explain the schema. Then we have more and more teams, and we try to coordinate somehow. So we may start having, apart from Scrum, we may have Scrums, Agile teams. So their requirements become higher because those teams want to have more visibility across different teams. If you want to do it in cadence, then again, more visibility is required. If you scale it further, if you are part of a larger organization, you want to involve all other parts of the business, specialist teams that are focusing on some specific areas of the product or architecture, functional teams, or infrastructure and tooling teams, right? So there are many other interactions and many other people that need to be involved to make the whole Agile process successful. And then we also have the business side. So how do you decide what to do out of everything you could do? So the initiative Kanban board, for example, could represent all the initiatives, all the ideas that you could pull from and decide what to do. And that's where the business is. Product owners council, steering committee, whatever you call it. Basically, they're the people who decide what to invest money into. And then again, that has to be coordinated with the development. They need to know where they are. They need to know what they can release earlier. Or they need to know what they can do based on how busy things are. Right? So there's more and more visibility and communication required each direction. And there are some upstream ceremonies as well. So I mentioned Scrum earlier, so you have standard ceremony, standard process that requires some ceremonies around, and you should introduce some of those at the highest level as well. So daily stand-ups is something that we have across our organization in every level. So our managers, every single team has daily stand-up. We want to stay in touch. We have people spread around the world, but we always make it just to communicate with each other. This is just an example of daily stand-up. You may have different cadences there as well, so it's not 2 weeks straight, but it's maybe 3 months steering planning meeting. And then there's portfolio management as well, so that's where the whole investment is happening. That's where you plan for a longer period of time. That's when you decide what you want to make money from this year versus something you want to firstly investigate, prototype, and potentially make money next year. And I wanted to show you the big picture. Who is familiar with Dean Leffingwell's Scale Agile framework? One person, okay? Okay. So this is a very pragmatic scaled agile framework model that visualizes how the truly agile organization can work, and that's, as you can see, contains all the levels of the organization. And it really shows what needs to be considered to run a successful agile organization. Right? It's not just development. You can see that this is the team level, there is program level, and portfolio level. So if we look at it step by step, we have the team level where you can have Scrum or Kanban way of work. Being prescribes Scrum, so teams can focus on objectives periodically. We have product owners, more technical product owners that sit at this level, and this is the first layer of that. Then we have program level, so we can see the small increments of value were here, the working software at the team level, right? Now we have larger increments of value, which are probably groups of features or one feature or enhancements, something that you communicate with your customers, with other stakeholders. And then the highest level, we have longer term cadence, planning for the whole corporate environment, planning for more than 1 year. So larger terms, longer cadence, longer terms objectives, and so basically at this level, the organization decides what can they do out of everything they could do. So when you look at it, you think, can this be done on the sticky notes? Probably not. It's too much. How to communicate the vision across the whole organization, and that changes. We seek for feedback loop at each level, right? So how to communicate, how to combine the information, and how to make sure we don't create another waterfall process. How to actually convert that into very agile and striving, value-seeking environment. Especially, it can be very difficult when you have hierarchical organization. So who works in a hierarchical organization when it's kind of hard to make the whole agile? One person, okay. So many are probably from small companies. Who is from a kind of small company? Okay, so most of you are. So this probably doesn't apply for small companies, but it definitely applies for larger organizations. And hierarchy will never go away. I mean, not for the next 10 years. That's just the fact. It's just a joke. I'm saying you are here. You might be here, right? Who's here? But yeah, the truth is they exist, and we have to live with it. And it doesn't mean that they have to block agile. The bad thing is that different tools, different infrastructure in the different silo is a very common practice. So very often I go to different organizations and they have absolutely no visibility into what's going on in the development world, because developers, or there was some decision made earlier on and they kind of work with different infrastructure that really blocks all the business stakeholders to have visibility into teams' work. And also it blocks the development team members to see what other people are doing and what's the objective. So I'm just bringing up another Dean Leffingwell slide because I really like this idea, and that's what we do as well a lot in Rally, and that works. So you can go across the hierarchy and create teams that focus on real value and delivering value, and those teams can be, you can look at the program that contains certain deliverables and create groups across the organization layers. So regardless of which line, which silo people are in, you can still think, okay, we're building that, who do I need to contribute? And you create an agile team that works around. And they can be managers, they can be people from marketing, they can be people from development, right? So we all know agile teams are not hierarchical, right? So we are trying to form a context boundaries across the hierarchy. So you can still have reporting line completely different to your value line. And communication that goes up and down the chain, it really slows down everything. So we really try to go across and communicate towards the value delivered. So going back to our main topic, as a member of an Agile team, I want to go through different kinds of Agile teams we can have, and what would be the expectation if you work for a large organization? What do Agile team members want and expect from an infrastructure to support the Agile way of work? So, for example, I'm sure these are not all the things, so there's no subset of things that, for example, a development team member can want. So the tool that supports my team's chosen methods, Scrum and Kanban. So that shouldn't be forced, definitely. Everyone should be able to choose, the teams should be able to choose, and the tool should support that. Share information and create dependencies with other teams. If you work on larger systems, but you can't avoid that. There are dependencies, and unfortunately, lack of visibility of those dependencies causes delays and roadblocks later on in the process. Integrate with other tools like testing, build, defect tracking tools. That should be a given. So developers shouldn't have to duplicate information in one system and go to another system and create them again. That should be seamless integrations allowed. The tool that allows me to see the bigger picture as well. So just few screenshots from Riley. So recently we actually introduced this board. So this is iteration tracking board. Before we had a list of items, list of stories and defects to manage within an iteration. But we want to innovate all the time. We get feedback from our customers and they seem to prefer boards. So we introduced this board in our recent release, and we just keep gathering feedback about it. It seems to be much more user-friendly and much more support the development team much better in a visual way than just a list of things. Then it gives them the context. And this is another thing that when we introduced portfolio items on the top of user stories, the first requirement was to show the hierarchy. Everyone wanted to see where they are in the value delivery process. So where the story is coming from, what am I working on? Why should I be doing it? Or maybe there is a better way of doing it, but actually I don't know what's the goal. So being a part of the context, whatever you do in your organization, and being able to visualize that is extremely important. And not only for managers, for developers as well. It's actually a key. So this is what we, in Riley, we really try to make the tool that supports the whole organization, all layers of planning. And by showing this slide, I'm presenting all the layers that Riley covers, but also the visibility that goes across. So it turned out being extremely important for my colleagues who work in development to see the highest levels. They created amazing applications that shows the context, because when they see the purpose, they can actually find a better solution to resolve it. They can find the creative way to solve the problem. So very often not very often, but like 2 times a year, we run hackathon, where we invite developers from our customers, and they create different apps for Riley. So there are different views or different reports that they find useful. And it's an amazing experience. It goes on for a few days. We announce winners. I think we had 2 different winners in a row. And that's very collaborative and innovative experience for everyone who is involved. And again, because they know the context, they know what they need, they see the value of that. So in its traditional approach, or traditional tooling approach, it's cut down. So there are tools for developers, tools for managers, tools for project managers, tools for financial people, tools for marketing. Agile is not about that. Agile is about bringing it all together and really focusing on the value that whatever you build provides. So let's look at other Agile groups that can exist. So for example, Agile product management, right? So if I'm a product manager or product owner, I want to be able to prioritize features, make these priorities transparent for everyone so everyone can accept that and understand what's at the top. Create, visualize, and communicate features roadmaps that are true and not fictional, created in PowerPoint. Reflect the real status of each feature and find out about delays earlier so I can act to do something about it. And I want a collaboration platform with everyone. I may have developers in India, in Poland, in England, in America. I want to have something that shows me everything I'm working on. And interact with customers as well. So I want to introduce some feedback loop. So a few screenshots from Rally. So we created that in active roadmap, which shows planned versus actual dates. So these are portfolio items. So these are the investment items. Each line represents the planned versus actual. And we really try to resolve the real problem that were around unrealistic and obsolete roadmaps. These were the real problems of our existing customers that were using Rally only for software development teams, but they weren't able to get that visibility from like millions of user stories where they actually were and communicate that to their stakeholders. So we constantly try to please our customers adding new features that help them to work in an agile way. And the portfolio management team. So this is the team that decides what to invest money for. So we have, probably as a portfolio management team, I would want to manage initiatives from concept to cash. I want to validate them. I want to be able to create business case, and then talk to other product owners and see what they think. I don't understand all technical aspects of that. I want to get involved, other people, and I want to contribute, and then I can make more informed decisions whether we can actually do it or not. Measure investment allocations. So maybe this year we decide to just focus on cost reduction and maintain our software, or maybe we want to 50% of our investment should go to refactoring or changing the architecture, underlying architecture, because our customer base is growing massively, right? So we need to change that to make our software better. So investment allocations are very important because sometimes, very often, these companies go off track. So initially, oh yeah, we're going to innovate, we're going to create this amazing product, and then most of the effort actually goes into bug fixing. That's wrong, right? So you should be able to monitor that, and that's what the people in the business want. They want to monitor their investment allocations. Compared plan versus actuals, up-to-date roadmap, the same as the product owners, and also the tool should be able to help them to make decisions. So the tool shouldn't give them false information, which is kind of traditional in a waterfall environment. That was the plan, we should stick to the plan, but the plan doesn't reflect reality. We want something that shows us the truth, so we can act and do something. So visibility into business priorities. So what we introduced the roll-up. We actually had that before, a lot for user stories, but we added that to portfolio items. So at the portfolio level, you can see the roll-up from all the stories that are attached to portfolio items and see clear visibility where you are. And everyone can directly access the portfolio item from a user story and see where the portfolio item is scheduled for, what's the expected planned end date. visibility, what's in flight. So this is extremely important to see how many projects you're working on. If you're working on 100 projects, you probably won't be able to get them done within the next 10 years or so. So you need to limit the number of things you're working on and get rid of stuff that doesn't give you any value, and don't look back. So something costed already 2 million, it didn't bring any value. You should just stop it. You shouldn't think, oh, we still don't know, let's invest another 2 million, right? It may just worth stopping straight away. And look at the whole value flow. So we start from idea, we have some good ideas, we don't know much about it. Then we build up the business case, and that's where the portfolio council is meeting. That's where they review the feature or the new functionality, they talk to technical people, they get the input, they see whether it's feasible to do, they look at the market, and they can build the value statement behind it. Then the prioritization happens, so what can we do now, what can we do later, what's the top priority for our customers. And then build, so after we decide what to do, out of everything we could do, what's the priority, we put it into build. And the bar here actually shows the progress from development. So all those portfolio items are broken down into stars, and when developers start working on them, the bar changes to progress bar. So that's very useful as well. And obviously this is the Kanban board. So again, we want some predictability. We want to know how long it takes us to get a medium-sized idea from idea stage to measuring stage, let's say, because we want to measure the result of that. So this can be totally customized. We put different boards for different groups in our business, and our customers have different boards that represent the value flow. And exit policies are very important. If you are interested, I can show you that what we have in Rally. We have slightly different, we constantly improve that as well, our process, so we can build better business cases. So I can actually show you our production systems later on if you are interested. We are in that room, I can't remember the name of that room, just in the corridor on the right. And the visibility, business value, so looking at portfolio item, what's the need, what user stories are our development is working on. And also, these are, so I was looking at the products mainly, but there are different programs around, maybe internal programs or some other improvement programs or hiring, right? Everything is taking people's time from the day, right? So that should be tracked somehow. And so you could have a program, Agile transformation program, and as a member of that team that tries to make my organization agile, I want the tool to support the global rollout of an agile program. I want a collaboration platform, and I want everyone to be able to watch the work, not the worker, which is the opposite to traditional approach where you measure people's time, and here we want to see the work and the value and the result. So this is again example how to roll up the progress from everything that was happening to the portfolio level. And this is the big problem in companies. And there's another thing. If I want to make this decision and use a tool in my organization, as a CIO, I have to sign this contract with this tool vendor, and I want to be able to have reliable and scalable tool because we grow as an organization. So I don't want to, in 2 years' time, change the tool to another tool. And I want top ALM tool, top-rated tool, top-rated by analysts. So I can guarantee that it actually, someone thought about it, it went through this tough evaluation process and it works. So what we did at Rally actually, we looked at our scalability and reliability internal. We hired external company that did performance study on our tool, and that was independent organization. We compared Rally version 1 and Jira, and we compared only SaaS products, and it was 6-week projects, and we released a white paper after that. It was to compare, but it was for us to improve, right? There are things potentially that we are worse than our competitors, so we want to get that feedback. So we had this subscription loaded with over 500,000 objects, stories, defects, tasks, and test cases. Same data across all the products, standard data shape, based functional analysis from Rally data. And that was also the same internet connection, not to, things that because of the connection, it didn't work. 10 common user story scenarios, all tests run in the same time zone. And why did we choose over 500,000 artifacts? Because we have large customers, we want to meet their needs, we want to be able to grow with them, support them, and we have already grown number of large customers. So we need to make sure we support them. And the result, guess who won? So these are the results. We've got the white paper available. This is interesting because you can do that yourself, right? You can try that yourself, and with similar scenarios, you can actually use that. We are almost best. Well, version 1 is better here. The story, assigning story to sprint. So they were just like scenarios, how long it took. We were measuring how long it took. So we did those 9 tests. And we only focus on things that the functionality that exist in all 3 tools. We didn't look at anything that is different. So it's very interesting. It's obviously very, very positive. So another thing, when we talk about CIO needs, we were validated by top independent analysts, Forrester and Gartner, and we came really high. So these are this year reports. So on the right one is Gartner one. They've got 16 criteria. They are much more generic one, and we are very close in the top quadrant there, and we are very close to large companies. On the Forrester one, they have different criteria. They had 116 criteria. We have them available. Actually, we can share with you, or I can download them from our website. And we are so close to IBM, and we are 340 people, and IBM is in total like 500,000. I used to work for IBM. And it's amazing, and looking at the same scenarios, the same criteria, we came up really high. They have, again, slightly different criteria. Obviously, when we look there, Atlassian is very high. They are executing really well. They go for specific market. They are doing really well on that market. That's how Gartner looks at it. With Forrester, it was more about functionalities, more about the strategy and current offering. So this is amazing. So some quotes from Forrester, which is a very makes us very happy. So yeah, we are basically, it pays off to focus on one thing. We want to support our customers that go agile, and that's it. And we talk to analysts, we do market research, we do agile internally at any level in the business. We make a lot of efforts to maintain our culture, and we have coaching organization that helps our customers. So focusing on one helps. And there were a few other things. We scored 5 out of 5 for administration, integration and customization, strategy, commitment, that's customer commitment, support and channel partners, and global presence. Although not everyone knows us in Germany yet, but we are here. And we really try to combine the whole offering. So Rally becomes just one agile lifecycle management platform for an organization and integrates with everything else that is selected by specific company. So we support from ideation to quality. We have services, we have open web services API that allows for integrations. We constantly improve our user experience and follow the agile principles. And we try to really do it from any kind of direction. So we don't leave our customers alone that if you buy the tool and do your agile as you want it. We try to support them from process coaching perspective, from the methodology perspective and the tool perspective. And just going back to the topic I started off with. So when you want a truly agile organization, you need to look at different teams and those agile teams will exist at every level and they need support. The bigger organization, the more visibility requirements you will have. Just talk in the corridor is not enough. You need to have some common repository that helps people to collaborate around. And I think that's where we're going. That's what we are trying to give to our customers. It's not perfect. We keep working on that. We keep adding things, improving, expanding, and constantly getting feedback from our customers. So Agile is not a destination, it's a journey, we all know that, and you need the right infrastructure to support that journey. And the wrong infrastructure can slow you down. So this is just my message I would like to pass on to you after my today's talk. And thank you very much, and I will welcome all the questions. Any questions?
Is it possible to see your software live? Do you have the ability to show us?
Yes, of course. We are sitting in that room over there.
Okay, not now.
So just pop in there, and I think that I'll be here until late. So this is my colleague Phil Mackenzie over here at the back. So one of us can show you the tool. Yeah.
How many real large companies have you already, agilized with your tool?
Yes.
Because you say it's a journey, but the ideal world is that everybody works with that tool, but how really, or how many cases do you really have where large companies use that in a whole?
We have customers like Cisco, for example. They have over 1,000 licenses, seats, in different business units. So that's pretty big. We have customers like John Deere, who are hardware producers and make tractors. They use Agile. They went Agile recently and use actually Team Laughing framework to scale the Agile approach, because they need to coordinate software delivery with their hardware delivery, so it goes into tractors on the right side. And so these are just big examples. We have
I guess what's your definition of big?
Yeah. No, it's rather the definition of the whole company, because you